Chase my bot, I wanna go to bed.
Drink your drink. It'll all be over
Oh,
soon.
I drink my juice.
Cheers. Cheers, Aida. Cheers, everybody in chat.
Cheers, Darcy. Cheers, everyone.
Happy International Women's Day.
Happy International Women's Day. That includes transgender women. That includes anyone who identifies as a woman or femme, marginally, circumstantially, on days that end in Y. Happy day to you and everyone else around the world.
And happy Women in Gaming Month. It's
We
here.
made it!
It's begun. This is
It's
it
real.
now.
It's actually real.
As of 60 seconds ago, it's real. We made it.
Oh, wow. Wow. Hi,
and that's
everyone.
it. We're done. Okay, bye. Cheers. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
I mean, we're just going to send you to say cheers the whole rest of the night.
Mm-hmm.
For anyone else, what the heck is going on and who are these weirdos just kind of having manic moments? Hi, my name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I am a Latina woman of color. I have tan olive skin, dark eyes, wavy hair, and I'm wearing a t-shirt with some truths on it.
Mm-hmm. I noticed that t-shirt. It is absolutely beautiful. It is all in rainbow colors, which makes it extra chef's kiss.
Science is real. Black lives matter. No human is illegal. Love is love. Women's rights are human's rights. And kindness is everything.
Amazing. You're gonna have to drop a link for where to get that. Me, JC Darcy. You may not remember me from the internet because I've been away. It's been a hot minute, but I'm back. I use they, she pronouns. I'm white as the day as long as the driven snow, and I know it. So we make accommodations. We get by. I have blue eyes. I'm wearing glasses. I have medium-length brown hair, and I'm just wearing a black jumper because I didn't put in effort today. Ida has shamed me.
No. I have double pairs of pajama pants.
Mm-hmm.
It is cold in my room. And
oh, really?
So I am cheating by having like
jumper,
an old-fashioned hot water bottle.
I love streaming because you can do whatever you want from the waist down. It's incredible.
I am a centaur on the waist down.
That's what nobody knows about, Ida.
Clip clop, clip clop.
That's who we are. What are we doing here besides literally having a moment?
We're saying cheers again.
Okay. She says it. I gotta do it. What are you drinking?
I have a... It's a very cheap Pinot Grigio. It's like a white wine. It's fresh. It's easy. Excellent. It's been in the fridge for way too long. What are you drinking?
My husband brought home pre-mixed cans of rum and cola. It's very cheap cola, so that's mostly what I can taste. But I don't care.
Friend, whatever works.
Mm-hmm.
We are here because collectively we did a thing. We decided to have a little event with some girlfriends, some femme friends, and call it a day. But what ended up doing is we ended up having nearly 60 participants, all primarily, I think the last time I checked, 80% outside the US. No, more probably. I think it's 80-ish% outside the US. Majority queer. Queer and neurodivergent are standards. They are so normalized to us right now. And like over a third POC of TTRPG content for the rest of this month, kicking off today, International Women's Day, with games that are primarily by women and female authors and or from authors based outside the US.
It sounds so simple when you put it like that.
I mean, looking back on, because you and I have that knowledge and we're the people who like making those lists. Yeah, once you know what the list is and you can just go check. I need a podcast to do this. Check. If you also get rid of all your nerves, if you also try to get rid of shame and sleep,
easy peasy.
we had a topic list.
We did.
Just gonna keep giggling and drinking.
I think it's mostly that. It's just how good we are at this, how everybody can attempt to emulate what we've done, and why they should. All jokes aside, why they should attempt to emulate this. Maybe not this exactly. Maybe not do this many
scale.
Things. Yes, but these kind of tables, these kind of games, these kind of GMs, these kind of stories that are really important to be told, and people should be doing better. So here's the roadmap. Here's how it's done.
Yeah, and we're also doing this because at least my first experiences playing D&D, uh, I started playing TTRPGs. I started with D&D 5e around
Mm-hmm.
4-ish years ago, and I did it with my coworkers and IRL friends who are kind, wonderful, good people. All men, all white men, but people I know their families. They're great allies.
Mm-hmm.
And on a lark, I got invited, or rather, I signed up for the first Women in Gaming like 3 years ago. And then I was at a table with all women, and it was women who were disabled, queer women, and other POC. And I was like, shit, is
Mm-hmm.
this what it's like? Fuck, I can't go back. I can't go back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, same. Very similar experience. I played IRL. I think I started playing when 4e was D&D Next. Like literally my first experience was playtesting 5e. Sorry, 5e was D&D Next. I started playing 4e. The pandemic forced us all online. I was like, oh, I got to find people to play with. Started a little server of my own, just played with some of my friends that I knew. Got on Twitter to find out the latest news, what's happening with TTRPGs. Oh, here's a bunch of people who like to play. And the first APs that I was in were predominantly male, predominantly white. The first real long-term thing I was in, I was the only femme presenting person for a year. And we were all white. And then as I started expanding that group of people that I played with, I landed in that first femme table. And it's kind of strange for us having this conversation now because we literally had this conversation earlier today. So I'm sorry if I'm going to steal some points that we've already repeated, but the amount of women and femmes that we have spoken to in this event who have said, I have never been at this kind of table before. I can't go back.
Don't go back.
Don't go back.
Please
You
don't go back.
You can play with some white cishet men. There are a couple. Like I can literally count on the fingers of one hand the white cishet men I will sit at a table with. Because I know them, because I know that they're safe, they have proven themselves, they are true allies. You can sit at those tables, and you deserve to, girlfriend. You deserve to.
And I know real life doesn't always mimic online life as well. If I were to really make an effort, I could be at more tables with femme and women people and women playing TTRPGs IRL.
Mm-hmm.
But I know because I am located in the Netherlands, it is a predominantly white country. There is zero to no Hispanic Latin representation there. And I know that I'm likely going to be one of very few POC at the room ever. So my expectations can be different online. I also realized being in Europe, it's like, oh, if everyone is talking the Queen's English and they're all quoting Shakespeare and everything is feudal Europe,
That's what we do
the
in
only
England.
experience that there is here. And I'm like, wrong. Eventually, I figured out that was wrong. For a while, I was going to accept it. I was like, yeah, okay, they just aren't. And I was effectively erasing myself or telling myself things to comfort myself. And then I realized that's also not true. If I imagine a TTRPG table streamed, it's not all white in my head anymore because now I know these amazing talents. They are not all white. They are women. They are immigrants. They are children of immigrants. They are they're here for generations, and they are just as much needed and valid and talented as anyone else. More so, probably.
More so, in a lot of cases, yeah. So looking at the next thing we have to talk about, it's a really great segue. Who are some of those people? Who are those people, those women and femmes in this space that you admire and look up to and want to have at your table?
Okay, I'll go first because you saw I expanded a bit my list, and I tried to keep it to people like I don't know personally too well, because if I spend too much time on people I know personally, like you mentioned, I will forget and I will feel bad. I will start with two personal ones though. One is so we're going to talk about women and femmes in the TTRPG community that we personally admire, because this is a month to just bask in the achievements and potentials of all women and femme out there, and for us in this little nook in our little niche community. So of the people I'm blessed to know personally in some capacity, Indrani, who was one of the founders of Desis and Dragons, aka Nonagon Dice, is someone I got to know through my very, very early AP days. And for a while, was very accessible. And then she got
Big.
big. The hustle she puts in, she has a marketing background, and she puts these skills to task. Like there is like an academic level of understanding of what she's doing. And this isn't luck entirely.
No.
This is skill.
Yeah.
This is skill. This is connection making. This is talent. She started off making dice, and her dice were so goddamn good that critical role players on their recorded games are using them. And just this past week, she was photographed for Vogue India for TTRPGs.
It's such a banging shoot. It's unbelievably good.
Indrani, I am proud of you. I know she's had it tough with personal things, with the challenges of being a woman, of the challenges of being queer, of the challenges of being POC, of the challenges of not being based in the US. And I'm sure she's working hard, and it doesn't feel like a success for her every day, but I'm seeing a roadmap. I am seeing a beacon, and I'm saying that is possible, and I'm going to applaud and cheer her on everywhere I can. Yeah, Kat, actual Vogue.
Actual Vogue India.
Actual Vogue.
Incredible.
So Indrani is one person I know well who I really admire. Do you have one, Darcy? Otherwise, I'll go into one other personal person.
So everybody, this is the thing. I think a lot of this conversation, we were chatting earlier, and something you said to me to really bring this conversation into perspective is the fact that we do take a lot of this for granted now, because we are so lucky to move in the same sort of circles. The TTRPG sphere is a lot of really interconnected circles, and sometimes you forget how close you are to the big players by that sort of degrees of separation. And so it's easy to the person that I admire the most was somebody who, when I first started out in the scene, I was like, oh my god, she's so cool, she's so prolific, she's so talented. I hope to ever get anywhere near the same level as her. And this year, last year, what year is it? What is time? The back end of last year, I got to GM for Liv Kennedy. And it was that moment of pinch. Is this where I am? Is this really happening? Should I be? Imposter syndrome goes absolutely crazy. But it's, in retrospect, it's grounding, it's humbling, and it's inspiring to know that you can get to sit at those tables with these incredibly talented people and hold your own and deserve to be there. I admire Liv so much for all the work she does, for how humble she is. I think I told her that, and she was like, me? Doesn't feel like a celebrity at all. But has some incredible plans coming along this year as well. Like, she doesn't stop. Such a force of nature. Does not stop.
She's amazing. And if anyone is unfamiliar with Liv Kennedy or Olivia Kennedy, she is a Black queer TTRPG podcaster based in the UK, and she is one of the three black halflings, which is with Jasper Cartwright and the Copster, who just is the Copster in my head. And they have a podcast that invites a lot of big names in the TTRPG sphere. And because they're working with the big leagues, those leagues are primarily West Coast US based. I mean, Jasper made it to Dimension 20, for example, and props to him. But I'm really happy to hear that Liv was doing something locally. And that's just as challenging, if not more, because you're missing the resources. You have to build that yourself.
Yes, yeah. And she's very aware of that. Like, struggle is the word, but it's not. At the end of the day, we're all just playing make-believe and telling stories. But the hustle that you have to have, that women have to have, that Black women have to have, that queer Black women have to have, like, all those added layers. And she just does it with a smile on her face all the time. But you're aware that and this goes for all the three Black halflings as well. They sit at tables with Mercer and Brennan, and like, we're at the D&D movie premiere looking like absolute Hollywood rock stars, but then just came back and understand that this is where they're from, this scene is thriving, and want to help everybody in that same boat. You know, it's ladders. You leave the ladders down after you. You leave the doors open after you. You help support everybody else to get to where you are.
Yay, Liv! We love you, Liv. We live, we live. Um, One person I will shout out as a woman or femme that I'm really in awe of, and this is someone you know, Darcy.
Mm.
I am in awe of our friend um, Sarah Moore,
Oh, yes, absolutely.
one
Absolutely.
of the founder for Girls Run These Worlds. Because before Girls Run These Worlds, um, everyone kind of puddled around and brought in values, but it was like, oof, do I want to be that woke person? Oof, do I want to really instigate? I know people are upset by this. I'm just going to tread and be
Mm-hmm.
quiet. And Girls Run These Worlds under Sarah's leadership, and then carried on by the team that she has uplifted and supported, said, no,
Mm-hmm.
you you say the quiet part out loud, you
Mm-hmm.
walk forward, and you do not compromise. And those were lessons I and Hoard of Tales have taken. We have values based on gross principles practices that we do not compromise
Mm-hmm.
anymore, even with the understanding this is extra labor. This
Mm-hmm.
does is extra emotional labor to bind additional levels as well. But once we understand its importance and we see it modeled and we see it executed and we see it successful and working, we're like, what's our excuse? We
Mm-hmm.
don't have one.
And on top of that, that you see, you can get to work in that kind of group, like working with other women. Again, this is part of the conversation we had earlier. When you're in a room working and talking, for a while it was serious business with other women and femmes, there is a shorthand that you can rely upon. There is a more direct communication that you can have with each other, where you're not dimming your own shine. You're not making sure that you don't talk over a man and you let him talk over you, where you can just get shit done. And it is a much more valuable and happy, it's a much happier place to be and to work. And that's how everybody should work. That's how
Yeah.
it should be. There should be these
That's what was
opportunities.
fostered.
Yeah. And it still exists. Like, well, she's gone and it feels like she's been gone for so long and we miss her. Sarah, we miss you.
Sarah, we're thankful for everything you've done, but we miss you.
Yeah, we do. But we're trying to carry
Um,
it on. We're trying to, honestly, when problems come up, I think, okay, what would Sarah do?
yeah,
Genuinely,
on
that
a
is what I think,
bracelet.
right? What would Sarah do in this situation? And sometimes I can hear her voice coming out of me when I type, and I'm like,
Oh,
actually, no, fuck you. So I hope I'm doing her proud.
I think you are. I think we are.
Mhm.
And I know from personal experience, people that were brought on from Hoard of Tales, like beyond this event, who saw the practices that were inspired by Grocery This World, were like, wow, that's cool. Can I take it? And I'm like, here's a
Yeah.
template. Keep the acknowledgements, but here it
Mm.
is. And they're like, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's working.
Yeah. And that's how it
Safety
happens.
tools are cool.
Propagating that until that becomes the standard. That will be Sarah Moore's legacy, guaranteed.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I hope other communities, whether they're majority women or femme, whether they're majority queer, whether they're majority transgender or any other intersectionality, there's room for your values. You don't have to compromise them, and they will make you shine.
Yeah.
Yay.
That's what it's all about.
It really is. I'll do one more. Let's see. I have 3 on my list. What do I
You
really
have so
like?
many. I'm like
And
racking
then,
my brains to think of people who aren't my friends. I'm just everyone looking at my. This is a wonderful thing to be looking at my TTRPG shelf and be like, okay, I know that person, I can't shout them out. Okay, I'm friends with that person, I can't shout them out.
I will shout them out
So,
in your Twitter. If you haven't
absolutely.
noticed that during this event, as has been tradition for previous Women in Gaming events, every single participant is going to get an exclusive post from our socials. It used
And
to
they
be
look
like
so good.
it used to be 15, maybe 20 people. Not the case this year, but it's going to happen. It's going to happen.
Ida said, speaking of extra labor that I can give myself, hold my beer. 60 participants, you say? Let's go.
We're gonna do it, but it matters. One person, I think that if I could make it into that sphere, then I mean, Liv Kennedy is a really, really fucking high bar that
Mm-hmm.
I got the opportunity to vault twice now over, and I'm like, holy shit. It would be Strix, Whitney Beltran.
Ah, okay.
It was an amazing person. Some people might know her as Ajit George's spouse. I know Ajit George's I know Whitney, sorry, I know the other way around. I need more wine. I think that's what the
Okay.
situation is.
Cheers, everybody. Cheers.
Cheers. And this
I
is for my
saw
hydration earlier.
Mhm. I saw the hydrate and I was like, I only have rum and coke and I think I need to slow down. Sorry.
The Strix is a person I really admire. They've done their work on the Radiant Citadel, for example, and I love this. This is D&D product, but it was unabashedly, proudly all POC work with POC stories and perspectives and led. And Strix was one of the leaders there. She's also done work like Bluebeard's Bride,
Yes.
for example. She was on that team.
Bluebeard's Bride.
That is an amazing game. Seeing that she acts as a mentor to a lot of other women who are particularly POC is really inspiring, that she can juggle the responsibilities of a professional TTRPG career and still have time to look down and reach for people lower on the ladder and pull them up with all the resources and energy that she can, I think for me is really inspiring.
Yeah.
On top of her being a fantastic story creator and designer.
Yeah, I agree. That's all of those qualities are something that I try and emulate, and we can all learn from this. It's a very special night on Hoard of Tales.
It is. We're just having our emotions here. It's okay.
Yeah, we've built a lot up over the last couple of months.
A little bit.
Little bit.
Yeah. And if anyone in chat has women and femme people in the TTRPG community who they value, today of all days, this month of all months, let them know. Let them hear it, because people like Liv, for example, who have no idea that they are wearing a superhero cape, you know what? Give them a little ooh.
Literally just send them that emoji.
It's gonna be a GIF for later. Hurry up.
I will send that to Liv Kennedy, and in 3 to 5 working days, she'll get back to me and go, "What?"
I mean, I managed to get in a game where I had oohs for her character. My character had oohs for her character, and I was like, yes.
That was a good day. That was a good day.
That was a good couple of days. And we are gushing about all the women and femme people that we have so much respect for, and that was kind of the onus of the entire event. That's why they're important, because of the experiences that Darcy was and you and I were saying, usually being the only woman or femme presenting person at a table. And then for some communities to say, oh, we did it, we've done our parts. Yay, we got one token over there. Look, there it is.
Yep.
Like, oh God, we have a Bria. We've filled our POC quota. That's it. Everyone can use a Bria. That's it. Go ahead. We're done. We don't have to look any further.
Yep. We tick that box for the calendar year. We don't have to keep trying anymore. Done.
And this is not to bash Abria, her capacity to be everywhere and deserve everything she is given. But I feel that, me extrapolating, that other communities might think that it's a pass or they're done.
Yeah.
No.
You got to work harder than that. And even when you get past that point as well, like it is an ongoing journey. It never ever stops. At GRTW, we've always prioritized BIPOC applicants. Like we've filled tables, we've had all Black tables, we've had all Asian tables, and it's still not enough. We still need to move forward. There have been times where we didn't get BIPOC applicants and we said, okay, we'll run an all-white table. We don't love it. We've only got one POC. They're okay with it. They might feel tokenized. We have that conversation. If they feel tokenized, we don't have to do that. But we're taking it a step further now, because you always can. You can always hold yourself to that higher standard and say, we can do more. And now all tables must be 50% BIPOC. No exceptions.
And again, it's a challenge that is also, we have to understand that us as community leaders or representatives of those respective communities, the problem lies with us.
Yes.
We have to own that it lies with us. The reason why there aren't as many POC applicants is because maybe they don't trust us. We haven't proven that we are a safe space. And unfortunately, it is always going to take the first person, the second person, a lot of runs. And that's also heavy emotional labor. I know that being the token POC in many other streams and other communities I've been in before implementing my personal rule of I will never be the only one at a table, even if it means I have to say no or back out even the last minute. So that takes effort and time, and that is on us as community leaders. It's also on us to recognize what signals we're giving out and the transparency and we're acting out on that signals. For this event and previous events across Hoard of Tales and Girls Run These Worlds, we scream to the heavens, BIPOC applicants prioritized.
Yep.
That's it. We literally highlight the names in the spreadsheet and we drag them to the top. It is as literal as that. And they get first. We go through them first. We should make sure that no one's down there below. And it also tells us, were we thorough enough in getting the word out? Were we just shouting it to our friends in our circles who are not POC? We have to do work to go out and make those circles and get trust and understand that we're not doing it to have that check mark. We're doing it because we value their talent, their stories, and we want the norm to change.
Yeah, absolutely. And it can. Like, the needle is shifting. It is taking a lot of work. It's like you're riding a bike on the lowest gear. Like, it's a lot of work for a tiny bit of incremental change. But the more we do it, there are more people helping us do it. Like, it's a really big, I'm going to stretch the metaphor. It's a big bicycle. Like, it's a bicycle for 50 people, and more people can help you pedal. It's a terrible analogy. I'm going to abandon it. But the more people that are on board with this sort of work, the more it will shift, and then the more people that can learn about it and join in and help it shift even further.
Absolutely. That has to be the case. And I'm really happy that we have had full POC tables, especially because we are based, Hoard of Tales specifically is a community that shouts and screams that we are not US centered. We are based in Europe. And when I say Europe, I mean continental, not political, so UK included. But I am so happy to have seen majority, if not all POC tables that are European. That for me has to be the biggest change. It kind of hurts my heart a little bit that it's like, oh, we have no POC applicants here locally. We have POC in the US, they applied. Okay, bring them in, which are amazing, wonderful people. I don't mean to discount that, but it's reflective of our lack of work and networking and extending and making good connections locally. That's what it's reflective of. And that's what disappoints me. Not the amazing POC that exist in other parts of the world like the US. Man. And we're also doing this big of an event, and we are unabashedly in Europe. You don't have to be up at 2 a.m. to do cool shit.
You can.
Cool shit exists here.
It does.
Right here.
It's been like I've been away for a little bit, and I feel like since I've come back, I don't know if it's that confirmation bias that it's something that I'm looking at more, but I feel like in the last 6 months to a year, it has been improving. I have seen more things happening of higher quality with broader casting calls and more diverse tables. So it's nice to see it. It's all very well and good us sitting here shouting, do better, get POC at your table. But to see it actually starting to come to fruition, to see the needle starting to shift, it's invigorating. It's like, okay, it's working. Let's keep going.
And I will always recognize good faith efforts. Don't always pan out. I myself, as a POC person, going out and saying, come to me, fellow POC, please come. It is not always going to work. They don't know who the heck I am. Valid. It takes work, and I don't like putting my personal stuff in social. Like, okay, it matters because once we get the platform going, I can stop and everyone else will carry the torch. But train of thought.
ADHD?
I don't know. No, not officially diagnosed, but it just went over there.
It's working, I think, is the point. It's working. Really, you can put the work in. The more people that do, the better.
Oh, but it's challenging.
There you go.
Schedules might not ever work. The people who are excited one day, real life will happen. And suddenly they can't do it, and I'm left with a table that isn't as representative as I would have liked it to be. And that's not anyone's specific fault. But after having shouted to the end of the world and I show up with a less diverse table, it's like,
we tried.
And I think I'm going to say confidently that Aida and Darcy have staked their reputation and their previous performances to say, we tried.
Yeah.
And when we haven't, or we've seen we haven't tried enough, that we're going to apologize, make clear what we're going to do, and then do better, and then
And do
do
it.
it.
Yeah. And I think people have seen enough, people don't know who the heck you are. Yeah, they do. People know who you are. People have seen you put in the work. People have seen Hoard of Tales grow. People have seen us put our money where our mouth is. We haven't gone, there we go, one all black table, done. And hopefully it will be that sort of thing that will accrue, even with this event. I said earlier today that we have been talking throughout this event about what next year's will look like, and the year after that, and how we've got loads of new people. We've had loads of people and BIPOC people and queer people join the server for the first time. I think we have some people streaming for the first time. Am I
Yeah,
correct?
absolutely. Yes.
So we're reaching you. Sometimes it feels quite. I get a bit despondent. I'm like, well, that's it. That's the TTRPG scene. There's the boundary. These are the people inside. End of. But it can grow. Like, people are watching the D&D movie, and we'll forgive them. We'll teach them better later. But they're coming on board. They're showing willing. They're learning. And if this is what they see and they go, there's Hoard of Tales. They have lots of BIPOC tables. I could join in with that next year. I could GM next year. It will build upon itself, and I'm so excited to see that.
Mm-hmm. I've had people PM me from other servers because I'm trying to do the outreach as well, saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, I missed the sign up, but I was wondering if there are other opportunities. Here's a video of me, another thing," and I'm like,
Amazing.
"Oh, you're the only BIPOC at the table. Oh, friend, I see
Oh,
you. Come, come,
come.
come, come, come." And immediately I'm like, I know what it's like, and then
Mhm.
we have a kind of hugging moment over Discord, and we're like, yeah.
I see you.
It can change, and also you don't have to do it at US times. It's here locally.
Yeah.
So it's challenging. It's extra work. It's worth it. It's so worth it.
Let's talk about making extra work for ourselves, Ida. You and I have a few things to say about that. Let's talk about the size of this event.
Man,
What did we
why?
plan? What did we plan for, Ida? What was that first meeting, that first conversation about the scale of this event, and how did that pan out? How did that go?
So we were discussing around the end of December. It was because traditionally Women in Gaming was done in June, and it was simply done because the organizers' schedules. And I'm like, cool, great. Wouldn't it be better if it was in March to reflect Women's History Month, and then in June we can do like an all queer thing? Mm-hmm. So I had that idea, and I'm like, you know what? At last year's scale, I could do it. I could do it. But you know who could really do it? If I had Darcy on my team.
You know who's been on
Darcy, hello.
maternity leave and has been bored out of their mind and is desperate to
Hello.
project manage something?
Hello, friend.
Hello, Ida. Hi, how are you?
You wanna change the world?
Every day.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
And then we said we're
Let me
going to
pop
have this
this.
scale of an event.
Let me pop this
And
3-month-old baby on the side and just get back to work here, right?
I saw that baby grow over this time. I did.
A lot.
And we said at the beginning, okay, we're going to do like last year was 6 games. Let's go for around that amount.
Yeah, that sounds
Definitely
doable.
not something every day, because that is for the two of us too much. And weekends are sacred. We're not going to touch weekends.
Let's put out the applications. Let's put out the call for GMs, and we'll see if we even get 6 applicants.
Yeah,
we might have to do some stuff ourselves and call in some favors. Let's just call up the sheet here. Oh my goodness, Ida.
Oh no. And they're all really talented. Oh my gosh, and they're primarily not based in the US, and they're really talented people. And there's a POC in here.
How do we say no to any of these people?
Okay. What, Sundays we're working things? Okay. Almost every weekday of the month? Okay.
It's fine.
Sure.
It's only for a month. It's only technically 3 Sundays. Which is not that many.
Yeah, with session zeros for each table as well.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah. Okay, 6 Sundays.
And also, we're going to be pre-recording quite some content. I need to herd those cats.
That's true.
Yeah, we also need to do editing and the graphic work for that.
Okay, let's go.
Copy, internal documentation, checklists, legalese,
Overlays, promographic.
overlays. Hey, can I add something more into your plate?
Sure.
Can we get some corporate involvement here? Can we
You
get
want to
some
get it sponsored?
contracts up? Yeah,
I got a couple contacts. I can reach out. I don't think anybody would give us what we. I mean, let me do
yeah,
the
just in
quick
case,
math
call
here.
all of them.
Yeah, like that's a doable amount to pay everybody a little bit.
I mean,
Gift everybody legally
it's not going to
distinct
happen.
from a
It's not going to
payment.
happen anyway. We were going to do this
No,
free.
sure. Okay, let me send some emails. Oh, somebody's got back to me. Oh, two people have got. Oh, Ida, we have too many sponsors. What do we do?
We have to say, oh no.
What would Sarah Moore do?
It was literally what we were discussing. And thankfully, we were able to work out indeed that sponsorship. Thank you very much, Free League. And what we decided to do is turn around and give nearly 90% of that back to every single participant.
As a gift.
It's a gift because the amount is small, doesn't reflect, but there are so many of you, and that's how the pie is split. It's a delicious, decadent pie, but the slice is a little thin for everyone to get a fair slice.
But get a taste of it now, and we'll show Free League how much everybody enjoyed their pie, and the other sponsors who were a little bit slow to respond and say, look how people respond to their pie and they want more. Give us more pie. Bigger pies, different flavors of pies, and we can share them with everybody in bigger chunks.
Yes. And that is how this little pet volunteer, just for funsies, just to prove a point, turned into something that it really bigger is and is going to set a standard for everything going forward. Thanks, you ruined it.
You're welcome.
Yay!
Let's do it again.
Okay. I'll give you a call later.
All right. I'll be ready with my banana phone.
But it happened. I think it went. Looking back, I'm allowed to say, looking back, it went fairly smoothly because we happened to have that organizational experience.
Yes.
And
we used
those
a
were
lot of the
from
same
lessons.
spreadsheets.
We do. And what I really liked about working with you, immediately I knew I wanted to work with you because you are a very communicative person. You are an accountable person to yourself and to the partner you are working with. And I was like, that's someone I want to work with, someone who I know puts in as much energy as I do. And sometimes I put in ridiculous amounts, and I know you put in ridiculous amounts as well. And I don't have to feel bad in the brain thinking, oh, this person's not working as hard as me, what's going on, which is completely unfair.
Yes,
but the ridiculousness of it is you reach that and you meet that.
I'm trying not to look at chat too much, but I need to call out Marcus for calling us out. It's a Blades flashback that we just did, and it's adding clocks to a bunch of existing clocks. That is literally how this event felt. We failed every roll. We've built so much stress, and every clock started another clock with like 16 pieces in a countdown, and it just kept going.
But we met those.
Yeah.
Because we also had a team that was able to help us when we actively reached for help and said, I need you to do A, B, C, D, delineate it out. We have a bunch of incredibly talented GMs who are communicative and who are also putting a huge load of labor in creating this game and the environment for their players and corralling them as well. And the players as well for meeting those expectations, putting their vulnerable selves in role play, putting on a show, signing the millions of forms and checklists we've put for them, the gazillions of pins, posts in every Discord channel, and they've rose to them. It happens because we have these good people behind us who are just as excited.
Yeah, absolutely. And the GMs as well. We need to shout out the GMs. I know we're going to talk about the content individually, but just as a group, the GMs that we were lucky enough to be able to recruit were all so professional and came to us. Some of the pitches were some of the best pitches that I've ever read for an AP. Like, when you can see it immediately, you can see the love and care that has gone into. Sorry, my monitor is turning itself off because I've been sat at this desk for too long.
And I
The
was
love
stretching
and
the meantime. Go
care
ahead.
and thought and like creativity that has gone into every single one of those pitches.
Oh,
It made it simultaneously so easy for us to go, well, yes, obviously, but as we say, it also so hard. Like, we have to have this. We can't say no to this pitch. We have to find a way to put it together. All of those people then stepped up and brought us their best organization. They were great when it came to casting. We had to put the cast together because there were so many applicants, and it was a case of us working on balancing the tables, going to GMs and saying, how does this table work? Make a couple changes, adjust like this. Everybody was so responsive and aware and thoughtful. That part of it, we've been doing a lot of planning, and then it was time to involve other people, and everybody knows that's when a project can go to shit. We were scared at that point. As soon as other people get involved, it's out of your hands. It's death of the author. It's up to what those people do and how they respond. But oh my gosh, it could have been a disaster, and it just went so smoothly because everybody was so on the ball and so committed and passionate about the project as well. Just lovely to see.
truly, 100%. We talked about this earlier with the thing we were looking the most forward to, and you said it, and I was thinking it. I was looking towards the end, looking forward to the end of the month,
Mm-hmm.
and not because just the watch has ended, but it will be done and accomplished and
Mm-hmm.
delivered. The standard has been set.
Mm-hmm.
The feelings are there, and we can bask in. I will be basking in those feelings for quite a while, and I can't
At
wait for
least,
the whole acclamation of it.
yeah, at least a week. I think we give ourselves. We agreed to just sit back and go, yeah, that was good. That's really good.
At least a week, Hoard of Tales specifically.
Yes. there may be fingers in other pies. We
Yeah,
have a
we need
problem.
eyes.
Real life. I'm
Do
addicted to TTRPG AP administration. Help.
I really am too. I mean, I
But
know for a lot of people. Yeah, go ahead.
it's because of that feeling, isn't it? It's because of that accomplishment. It's because you get to sit back and watch a majority BIPOC all femme table telling a story that no other group could tell. It's unique and it's incredible, and they're some of the most emotional and inspiring stories I've ever seen have been at all femme tables. And okay, all right, yeah, women are really emotional, herder. Good. Look what we can achieve with it. Look what we can do that is far more interesting than I thwack the dragon 20 times in a row. The things that we can do here with these groups are I think, the best stuff that goes out on the internet. Clip it. Quote me.
100% agree. Oh, well, there'll be clips, there'll be reels. That's another thing to add to our
Yes.
to-do
Yes.
list as well. There's going to be a post stream content, VODs, and thumbnails have to get made, the tags and the accreditations. We take it for granted, but I can't imagine that 4 years ago, before I started any AP or any TTRPG things, that I would have this skill set. I'm like, holy moly.
Yeah. Because you have to
Holy
do
moly.
everything. You have to learn to do everything yourself. The things that have been added to my I don't have a CV because I should have a CV. This should all go on our CVs and let's everybody get on LinkedIn. The rest of this stream is a LinkedIn CV update stream. But marketing, video editing, organization, admin, learning Canva. I've learned Canva. I've learned DaVinci Resolve. I've had to learn audio editing. I've learned OBS and Stream Deck. So many things that will probably be able to come in handy in other jobs as well. Also, it's just nice to have those strings to your bows to feel accomplished. There's nothing I love more than when somebody says, I need this. Can anybody? And I can go, yep, I got you. I am your Swiss Army knife. I got you.
And a lot of those skills that you mentioned, I used resources that were also created by women. And I know on Twitter, on other social media, people are saying, I have a question. Can someone help me? And women and femme people are also the ones responding. This is not a unique skill set. This is an achievable skill set. If it seems unachievable or hard to reach, there are resources created, and they are also women and femme-led created resources as well. It's the community helping the community. Because of this, I've been talking to a lot of people. It's like, oh, you want to know how to get a caption for free without using Zoom or other paid things? This is how you do it. Oh, you don't like it when someone drops the call and your overlay goes, let me teach you how this other thing works.
I know I've got a problem because as you were saying that, I that's an event. Like we should do like a women in teacher, like a workshop event, like resource sharing with workshops. And
I have a proposal in a doc sheet, actually. I'm not kidding.
I'm not even surprised. I'm not even surprised. Coming soon to Hoard of Tales, back end of this year.
Man.
But there you go. Look, we're right there. We're on the exact same wavelength.
We are
Unreal.
dangerous together. We really are.
Unreal.
You know what is coming? Not just this year, but this month.
What's coming this month, Aida?
Oh my gosh, so much. Okay, there's so much that I need to open.
Comparing, there's a skill that you can add. Segueing really smoothly. You can put that on your CV.
Oh man. Okay, sweet. Past Aida did this work. Thank you, Past Aida. Okay, so for the rest of the month until the 28th, 29th, we have every single bit of TTRPG content on this channel will be women and femme produced, organized, facilitated, GM'd, and played. 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Specifically, let's go down this. We can alternate what's coming up in the pipeline. The next stream that we have is going to be Monday the 11th at 6 p.m. GMT, 7 p.m. CET. I know the US is changing time zones. We are primarily in EU community, so I get to say this with a bit of sincerity, but sorriness, we don't care. Bubblegum Shoe is going to be GM'd by Jen Vaughn with an amazing cast. Bubblegum Shoe is a detective game that involves teens trying to solve a mystery, and this one is going to have sort of they have to find out what is making that bully tick through some creativeness, through asking questions and exploring that side of sometimes misguided youth. And that's going to be on Monday with a fantastic table. Definitely check it out. What else do we have in the tech list? If you want a quick cheat, Darcy, if you go to our Discord and look in events, everything is there with timed.
I should have had this. As a slide on the thing ready to go. So I'm going to see if I can do it before you get to the end, and then I'll pull it up and say that's what you were talking about.
Oh.
Let's see if I can do it. You keep going.
Okay. After that, on Tuesday, March 12th, we have a special edition Creator Talk Women in Gaming mode event. Creator Talk is a Hoard of Tales segment where we invite TTRPG creatives and professionals, primarily outside the US, and definitely focus on those from marginalized communities, to talk about what makes their creativity tick, talk about really important and cool projects that we should have an eye on. And normally it's our very good friend Marcus who is leading this, but because it's Women in Gaming Month, I slid into that seat and I got to talk to Virginia Garcia McShannock, who is a formerly of Modifius, and she's had her fingers in some very, very big pies. If you know Modifius from games like Star Trek Adventures, for example, she's led a lot of those projects, and I got to chat with her about what it means to be a professional, what it means to be a woman in the TTRPG space, and also the importance of creating in-person communities that are representative and inclusive of the values you want to keep as well. So look for that Tuesday, 8 p.m. CET, 7 p.m. GMT with Virginia Garcia McShannock. Next, shall I keep going?
Yeah, it's not. I can't make it work. It's on Twitter. I'll drop a link to the tweet.
Cool. The next game we're going to have up on March 13th at 8:30 GMT, 7:30 8:30 CET, 7:30 GMT is going to be our Basin game, sponsored by Free League. Big thank you to Free League for helping us out with this. It's going to be GM'd by the amazing Fiona Howat and a wonderful, wonderful table as well. with some newcomers to the community. A perfect game, a perfect table. Vasen is like this highly lauded Emmy Award winning game, and the story is going to take place at an artist colony. Is going to start exploring a missing persons case, but knowing the kind of game that Vasen is, which mixes horror folklore that is based in England and Europe with Fiona's storytelling, it's going to be a spectacular game. So definitely check out Vasen with Fiona on Wednesday, March 13th at 7:30 GMT, 8:30 CET.
I'm nearly
More?
there.
You need more?
I'm nearly
Okay. Okay. Thursday, March 14th. We have a lot. Thursday, March 14th at 8 p.m. CET, 7 p.m. GMT, we have Corpborg. Corpborg that is GM'd by our dear friend Maddie Searle. The one shot is titled Resilience Training Weekend 2K24, where the players are administrative, bureaucratic minions, and
There we go. Apologies,
hi.
friends. I flew too close to the sun.
It was a beautiful ascent, though.
At least you've had the joy of being able to see how beautiful that looks.
The size of the list is what makes it beautiful to me, definitely.
Mm-hmm.
On Friday, March 15th, is a project that was brought over by our friend Krifu, who is now on the HOT team, where we have casts that are exclusively based in Europe. And this time it's going to be women in gaming flavored. So we have women and Femme who are exclusively based in Europe. And they're going to be playing a 3-part series of Candela Obscura that is GM'd by Anya. And after this, it will be live every single Friday. It's a 3-parter. So definitely check that out. Fridays from here on, 8:30 CET, 7:30 GMT. Will. More? You need more?
Just pick out the highlights now.
Highlights. Oh, I can go really fast by title then instead of things. Sunday, March 17th, we have Clean Spirit, a game by Cassie Mothwin. It's going to be GM'd by our dear friend Kat the Lore Mistress. Oh, I didn't game that game.
Oh yeah!
I finally get a team to be a cat. Every time we've tried, something in the universe that made it not work.
Don't touch wood. Nope.
Drink alcohol.
Cheers.
Cheers. Tuesday, March 19th, 8 p.m. CET, 7 p.m. GMT. We're going to have a game called Here, There Be Monsters, GM'd by Gabrielle, who you may have seen in our Fabula Ultima campaign earlier this year. It is the queerest of angriest of queer, beautiful games. Be there. That's the pitch. Wednesday, March 20th, 6 p.m. CET, 5 p.m. GMT, Apocalypse Keys, GM'd by Porna M, who was recently on our Thirsty Sword Lesbians campaign earlier this year. We've had this game now 3 times in a row. It's just that good a game that it's going to keep coming back, and I'm okay with that. Sunday, March 24th, 6 p.m. CET, 5 p.m. GMT, we have this up-and-comer, brand new person to the scene, very shy. We're going to support him as best we can by this person called Darcy.
Sounds gay.
Who is going to be running a game called Pride and Extreme Prejudice, which is a one-pager by Grant Howitt, where we have Regency era ladies in mechas.
What more do you want?
Darcy at the head of the table, so be there for that. Monday, March 25th, 7:30 CET, 6:30 GMT. When the End Comes, a game originally written by Sandra Catharan, a Dutch TTRPG writer. For the first time ever, she is going to run the game in what's called turmoil mode. They're all going to die on that table. I'm going to die. I'm going to love it. Tuesday, March 26th, 8 p.m. CET, 7 p.m. GMT, we have a panel, a star-studded panel moderated by Fiona, and includes Taylor Ann Navarro, Naomi from Naomi Thinks It, Shamini Bundell, and Emily Bates from RP Geeks. And the title is Tropes, Tropes, Tropes. Genre and narrative structure in TTRPGs. I am told that there will be discussion about dictionaries and snake venom.
It was a banger of a panel. I got to pre-record it. I cannot wait to get to watch it again. If you watch one thing in this entire month, let it be that. They were on fire.
It was wonderful. On Wednesday, March 27th, 8 p.m. CET, 7 p.m. GMT, we have Allura, which is a trophy in the dark game that is GM'd by Madeline Colley. The capstone for that game is Horizon Dark the movie. It's Horizon Dark the movie in TTRPG form, because that's what Madeline Colley wanted. What Mads wants, Mads gets. And Thursday, March 28th at 8 p.m. CET, 7 p.m. GMT is The Fall of Home, a game that is GM'd by Ella, the amazing. She GM'd last year Apocalypse Keys during this event, and she's such an amazing storyteller.
Mm-hmm.
And just to remind us that every Friday, we will also be having that Candela Obscura game.
And then it's done. Look, it sounds so easy. The amount, the games, the GMs, the casts, it is a dream setup. We have been very, very lucky to have been able to pull this together. It's going to be great.
It's also skill. I like attributing things not entirely to luck, because then when it goes bad, is that luck or is that lack of skill?
That's true.
And that's what's going to be happening this month. Also, what's going to be happening this month, something that we announced to our community before we announced it publicly, is that while we have this platform to uplift women and femmes in TTRPGs, it would be remiss not to share that platform to help out women who are disproportionately disenfranchised through in conflicts and crises around the entire world. So we have pinned at the top of our chat a link for Tiltify for a wonderful charity called Women for Women International. And they are working in a lot of different parts of the world, bringing support that is hydration, hygiene kits, menstruation kits, food for women, for their children. And in other countries, they're also bringing training for advocacy training, entrepreneur training. And if you have the means, please consider supporting them. That would mean really a lot. We're happy to have been able to uplift and support the people we know personally, even if it's digitally. And that feels great. And sometimes it feels like we can't really do things for the greater world. We can in some capacity. It's not impossible. So if you can, I'll just pop the link in chat right there.
It's been done. Marcus is on it.
Oh, yay. Good ally. Is that link if you can. If you're unable, share it around. Anything you can give to help the people that this amazing charity works for, consider, please. Thank you.
Thank you. And we know we're going to get such a great response from the response alone. I try not to look at chat because it really distracts me when I'm streaming, but I can see the people who are there. I can see the enthusiasm. I can see the support. It means so much. It means so much. The people who have helped, who I've vented to whilst getting this stuff done, who have bounced ideas, we've done well together, Aida. We're all right. We can bounce together and we can have a little moment of, we're going to be petty and now we're going to get on with it. But sometimes you just need to go to other people and be, I'm going to be very petty now. That is for mental health. That is doctor recommend. I'm not a doctor. None of this is, but having that wider community around us It makes it worthwhile, and it's why we do it. So thank you, everybody.
Thank you, everybody. And if you like what you're seeing, definitely please also click the link and consider treating yourself to some Free League games or check out their library.
Do you
If
want to know
Fasten
what
was
you
one of
could
the
get?
games you play,
You could get Tales
watch.
from the Loop. Oh,
Tales from the Loop
amazing.
is an amazing game.
You could get, now I didn't want to get this, but Mark Humes talked me into it. So get the Blade Runner role-playing game starter set. It's incredible. You could get, if you want to die in space, you could get Alien.
Darcy, you're very
Alien.
good at dying in space.
Shut up.
It's the why you're talking now. And if you want to get Basin for yourselves and you're like, hey, I want to see how it's played, absolutely come to the game run by Fiona. And that is going to be Wednesday, March 13th at 8:30 p.m. CET, 7:30 p.m. GMT. The VOD for that will be available immediately. Man. So yeah, that's what it takes to make an event. And that's kind of what it can entail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now that it's officially real, we're going to go and continue drinking. And we'll see everybody at the very first event on Monday.
Wow. It's like you said, we started it because it's you and us, and we are the control freaks, and we have it. But now we're really passing it off.
Yeah. Yeah, but don't you feel completely fine about that? Don't you feel excited and confident that all these people are going to carry that torch and do us proud? Because I do.
Yeah.
It's not convincing.
Let me put it this way. Because I am that person that I need to be over the shoulder, that's reflective of me and not them.
Yeah.
That I can comfortably see now, which are also lessons I learned from being among other more adjusted and people with that experience in TTRPGs.
Not me. I'm not adjusted.
Comparatively. We've been around people who are adjusted.
Exactly. It's all relative. Well, I think we've done enough at this stage.
I think it's good. Let's see.
Are you looking for a raid target? Who can we raid into?
Yeah, I was under the expectation that a certain other table would be streaming tonight because it's Friday, but they're not. But we were talking about Fiona and Maddie so much that they happen to be live right now.
Do they? Where are they?
Yes, Actualplay UK.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's some good people at that table. I do wish that community was slightly more diverse, but hey, let's see if we can show them how it's done.
All right, everyone, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for all the support here in chat, on our socials, in our Discord. If you want to be part of our community, there are links below for you to join us, to hype up, to learn about this event, for next year's event, for future casting calls, to be part of a community that is primarily European, that is primarily not US-centric, that values voices from marginalized communities, whether you are LGBTQIA+, neurodivergent, disabled, BIPOC, BAME, outside the US, have multiple experiences. You are welcome with us. Come be part of our swell group and help us change the world, because that's all we wanted to do.
That's all.
That's
Not
all.
much.
Okay. In that case, I guess we're going to wave ourselves into the night and keep drinking. We're going to be rating Actualplay UK. Please be good. Please be good guests. Say hi to them. Cheer them on, and we'll see you Monday. Anything else to add, Darcy?
Be gay, do crime.
Yeah.
Thanks so much, everybody.
All right.